Okay, Kohalayim Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua Bahashem Wukar Kwadash. My name is Lamadia. I want to give double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And the premise of this video is going to be on the government shutdown and the EBT, formerly known as food stamps, being cut off for the month of November and possibly December, and remaining off permanently. So, you know, what I have to say to this is winter is coming, and the Lord is bringing judgment upon the woman of the tribes, because the number one recipients of food stamps or even government funding is the black woman. And what happened is they take these fundings and they say they don't need a man. So we're going to see if these things are true, because now you're going to just have to figure out how to get it. And in fact, it goes against the law of the scriptures. Going back to Genesis, when the Lord cursed Eve for the sins he committed. So let's do this. Bear with me. Okay. So this is Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Now this is why women have labor pains when they go through giving birth, because that goes back to the curse that was put on Eve for hearkening unto the serpent. And it says, in sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband. There you go, key word. The desire should be to her husband, and her husband alone. But now these modern day women believe that they don't need a husband, and they could do bad on their own. Well, as this place began to decline, woman gonna go through the most suffering. Because Esau, he had gassed their head up to believe in the lie. So you're gonna eat the fruits of these lies. Well, let me read on. And it says, and he shall rule over thee. A husband shall rule over her. And a lot of women don't want to let the man lead. They don't want to be under the authority of a man. So guess what? What's going to happen is they're going to learn the hard way, because things will get bad, as we see it playing out right now. And it's only going to get worse, because who's bringing the plays? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So I'm going to let this video play, and I'm going to come right back.
SNAP benefits will not be issued for the month of November. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. I am a social worker and a caseworker. I have been working in the social service field for over 10 years. I also worked at the SNAP Welfare Food Stamp Office for over 6 years. I have processed hundreds of SNAP cases, and in this video, I will explain to you what's happening with November SNAP benefits. Due to the government shutdown,
food stamp caseworker is not for the weak. Being a food stamp caseworker is not for the weak. Being a food stamp caseworker is not 2 times already this morning. But I still show up to work every day.
Did you guys realize that there's so many people talking about the food stamp cut that's going on as far as like people not getting their food stamps for the month of November? But what I'm going to say is probably not going to benefit you or change the narrative of what's going on for the month of November. But what I am going to say is that you guys realize that around the first of the month, when the majority of people get their food stamps around the first of the month. Not everybody. Some people get them like on the 3rd, the 15th. It all depends. I don't know if it goes by your last name or what. But majority, if not all of these grocery stores around the U.S., they depend on those billions of dollars worth of food stamps to come in every single month. They prep for it every month at their grocery store. That's why when you go into a store around the first of the month, you see fresh grapes. Everything looks so fresh and pretty because they know that it's going to leave those shelves quick. You guys realize, even if it's just the month of November and people don't get their food stamps, do you know how bad that's going to hurt the grocery stores? All those turkeys that's coming from all those farms that's going to sit there, millions of turkeys. They're going to have to get that stuff away. They can't let it just sit there and spoil. All that meat that sits there, guys, they have to mark that meat down and give it to you and sell it to you for discounted prices. Only people with cash is going to be able to afford that food. You guys realize how bad it's going to hurt the meat producers, the butchers, the farmers, the people who produce the vegetables and everything. So this is way bigger than you guys think. A lot of people was thinking, well, Thanksgiving's going to be bad. It could be bad if people don't get their food stamps because they're dependent on it. But just think about how big of a freaking disaster it's going to be on our economy, man. All it's going to take is just 1 month of people not getting their food stamps, and watch what happens in those grocery stores. Those meat prices is going to drop. Those vegetable prices is going to drop. Those fruit prices is going to drop. They're not going to throw that stuff in the trash can, guys. Not when they can at least make something off of it. But you guys leave me your comments on this topic. I'm just really curious. I think the grocery stores are going to suffer just as much as the people who are not getting their SNAP benefits for the month of November. Thanks for watching.
I ain't gonna lie. In Chicago, come November, if you work in these retail stores, Walmart, grocery stores, Food for Less, Jewels, all that shit, all I'm gonna say is don't try to be no hero. It's not worth you getting beat the fuck up to stop somebody from stealing groceries because they didn't cut the lien. Like, if you ask that protection, honestly, I'm going to keep it a buck. If I was y'all, because I used to work in asset protection, I'd definitely be looking the other way. Because y'all know, when shit like this happen in Chicago, it get really wild. And I'm just letting you know, that's not the time for you to be getting beat on and punched on for $16 to $18 an hour. It's absolutely not worth it.
So apparently, I don't know if you have heard this, but this includes the whole United States, y'all. Wherever there is an EBT SNAP program, this affects you if you are an EBT recipient holder. As of November the 1st, there will be no food stamps issued out. Let me repeat that, and that is for the whole United States, y'all. As of November 1st, there will be no food stamps issued out. So, whatever plans you got, now that you heard this, you better rearrange them. And don't think, oh, I ain't getting none November, so December I'm going to get mine, and they're going to give me back November. No, it's not going to happen. This is the calm before the storm. Prepare yourself. Prepare your children, your families, your fridge.
Okay, let's talk about this. So, regardless how you feel about this, come November 1st, in all likeliness, if the government shutdown has not ended, about 41 million Americans will stop receiving their SNAP benefits or food stamps. Same thing if you don't know what that means. That's about 12.6% of the United States population. It's a lot of people. In fiscal year 2023, 39% of recipients were children, so those under 18. 11% were children under 5 years of age, 19% were elderly, and about 88% of the households that received it had at least one person in that house under 18. So understand, this is a problem. And even if you're doing well and you don't receive SNAP benefits and you are worried about your tax dollars going to people who do receive SNAP benefits, fair point. But when you take food away from already a desperate set of people, you know, when people are pushed into a corner, people tend to do things that are a little aggressive. So I'm curious, what's your guys' thoughts on this? Are you one of the people that are like, oh, give these poor people some food? Or are you one of these people that's saying, these people need to get a job? I'm very curious what you think.
Oh, y'all ain't gonna be getting y'all food stamp in November. To some of y'all who making those videos that like y'all celebrating that people are not going to get their food stamp in November, especially during Thanksgiving, you know what the problem is with these selective celebration, or should I say anger? Why y'all ain't made videos about the $20 billion that was just given to Argentina for a bailout? During the government shutdown, your president just gave Argentina $20 billion for bailout. Now, once again, to the Argentina people, I ain't got no problem. I don't know why y'all getting a bailout. It is what it is. That is not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is, during the government shutdown, Argentina was given $20 billion, but yet y'all are celebrating that the American people is not going to get finance for food in November. And for the ones that want to say, well, they misuse it, are y'all going to keep up with how Argentina going to spend the money that was sent over there? Which one of y'all going to make sure that they spent the money the correct way? My point exactly. My point exactly. I don't have no issue with my tax dollars helping people getting food stamp, especially, let's try it again, when money and billions is being sent to another country during the government shutdown. So, yeah, if you're going to make a video celebrating that people is not going to get their food stamp, then y'all need to make a video complaining that $20 billion was sent to another country while people is getting cut off here with assistance.
Okay, I think that's all I need from this video. So let's read this. Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women, thou art at ease. Ease means to live comfortable. Why they living comfortable? Because they being supported by the government. They being protected by the government. But these benefits are going to be pulled away. Now it reads, hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled. And it's happening now. Ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail. The gathering shall not come. Now, the vintage is talking about the resources, the money to get at the beginning of the month to purchase food, and the things, you know, they never really buy the food that's healthy. They buy a lot of junk food. But what's going to happen is, the scripture said, it shall fail. It's not going to come. Now it says, tremble ye women, thou at ease. Be troubled, ye careless one. Strip you. When something is stripped, something is being removed. What's being removed? Their benefits. And make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. And it's going to get bad. And then a lot of times what happen is, you know, they take these food stamps or EBT benefits and they sell them. And they sell it to get, you know, sneakers, clothes, and whatever bullshit that they spending their money on. To get weed, to smoke weed. But this thing is gonna, you know, these funds is gonna be put to a stop. And it might lead to more crime going up. But we're gonna watch and see what happens, because they're supposed to meet tomorrow on the 20th to see what they're gonna come up with. But if they don't come up with anything, this thing is gonna continue. Verse 12. They shall lament for the teats. Now, teats is talking about it's the gland in the nipple that produce milk. Because when a mother nourishes her child, she breastfeed her child, breastfeed her child or baby. So it's talking about nourishment. So they're gonna lament for the teat, meaning they're gonna be, because they're being nourished from the government, meaning they're being taken care of. And guess what? Some of them don't actually breastfeed. So, well, not some, a lot, the majority of women don't breastfeed now. So they literally gonna be lamenting for the teat, because when they can't get that baby formula, you know, they're gonna be in trouble. They gotta figure out how to get that money to get that formula, because they don't breastfeed. So it says they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields and the fruitful vine. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yet upon all the houses of joy and joyous city. So the Most High, he's about to put a stop to this lifestyle. And like I said, as America comes to a close, the women of our nation, they're gonna feel it the most. Now we'll read Isaiah 32:9 in the NLT. Say, listen, you women who lie around in ease. Listen to me, you who are so smug. In a short time, just a little more than a year, ye careless one will suddenly begin to care. For your fruit crops will fail, and the harvest will never take place. Tremble, you woman of ease. Throw off your complacency. Strip off your pretty clothes. And another thing is, you know, these women are complacent. A lot of them don't even cook for their kids. You know, they go to the, you know, they eat out a lot with this EBT rather than just cooking. So it says, throw off your complacency, strip off your pretty clothes, and put on burlap to show your grief. Beat your breast in sorrow for your bountiful farms and your fruitful grapevines. For your land will be overgrown with thorns and briars. Your joyful homes and happy town will be gone. The palace and the city will be deserted, and busy towns will be empty. Wild donkeys will frolic, and flock will graze in the empty forts and watchtowers. And that's it on that. Now, so things is going to heat up, and it's only going to get worse. So now I want to read Isaiah 13:11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And the arrogant is Esau, and the wicked is Esau. Because who's in power? Esau, the so-called white man. Verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold. And what man that's going to be? It's going to be an Israelite man that's serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And so the Lord said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. Verse 13. Therefore will I shake the heavens, and the earth shall be removed out of her place, and the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and the day of his fierce anger. That's going to nuclear destruction. But things, you know, things gonna get bad. And you know, feminism And the traits of feminism is going to all die here in America. And I ended with 2nd Esdras 16 and 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughter shall mourn, having no helpers. Because we entering a 3rd World War. And it's going to be a ground battle. They're going to start with a ground battle that's going to end in a nuclear battle. A lot of men is going to be drafted. So men is going to be scarce. Especially righteous men. You know, so that's why the Lord says he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. And it says, 34, in the war shall their bridegroom be destroyed, and their husband shall perish of famine. Now, famine is the scarcity of food. So, you know, that's what's coming, and you've been warned. And, you know, we've been pulling out Isaiah 32 for the longest, and now everything's starting to play out. You know, so with that, I'm going to say Kohalayim Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Vakar Kodash, Shalom.